Hello and welcome to January's Book of the Month video party. It looks like I'm here by myself again, so I'm just going to share a little bit about the book. So if you weren't able to make it here live today, you can read it, or not read it, sorry, listen to the video, and I'm going to announce February's Book of the Month. So just a reminder, January's book was Add More Ing to Your Life, a hip guide to happiness. Now, when I first started reading this book, there's a couple things that I thought about the book beforehand and then realized that I was wrong. First, when I started reading, I thought I wasn't really going to get into it. I didn't even know if I was going to finish the book. I was like, I already know all this stuff. And now I don't think it was very long when I had those thoughts. I think it was very early on that I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to want to read the whole book. I also actually started reading it and only read it to the first equation. And I thinking that on January 2nd, I was going to start that equation and go into the whole January for the book of the month, the whole month to line up. Because it said on the back, something about in her 30-day ing equation. So I thought it was a 30-day ing equation. I was a little wrong. There is 12 chapters, 12 chapters, and each chapter is an equation. So you, in theory, have a whole year of ing equations. And I was like, oh, so I actually dragged my feet for a little bit because I thought, oh, I'm going to be doing this for the whole month. And yeah, so that was a little, I wasn't aware of that. So that kind of was like, oh, like, so you can, in theory, have this book near you for a whole year to do everything from front to back. And personally, as a mom, that is a lot. So I look at this book as a guide, and I took from it what I needed. And I don't know if it was this book or if it was the other book I read of hers, The Universe Has Your Back. But in one of the books, she said, it's with the Course in Miracles. It's, take what you want and leave the rest behind. I'm paraphrasing, so it wasn't exactly that, but it's essential, take what you need from it and then just use what works for you. So it's following that inner guide that we all have. So once I finally got through the whole, oh, this is more than one 30-day equation, and I started reading in further, I actually realized I love this book. Why did I love this book? For a few reasons. With her other book, The Universe Has Your Back, I actually started meditating and journaling together, and that was really an amazing combination that I've really started using in my own life. I'd find time to meditate and I'd do some journaling, but I find it all works really well together. And then in this book, she actually takes it a step further. And I think this book actually was out before The Universe Has Your Back. But in this book, she has different equations for each thing. So for instance, the first one, I'm trying to remember, is feeling. And then the next one's forgiving, and then balance and mirroring, and so forth. So each one has a different focus and a different ing equation. And for the most part, they're a little similar. Like you have a rethink, so an affirmation, and then there's movement, and then there's movement plus something. Hang in here with me, guys. Movement. Rethinking plus movement, sorry. So like when you do, like I'll explain balance, but there's involves a trampoline, and then you say the affirmation while you're jumping. So it's moving plus doing your affirmation, and then meditating, and then in journaling. So they have all little steps on what to do. So each one has its own formula, different movement. She gives a handful of suggestions, and has a meditation in here, and you can actually purchase the whole package of meditations. but I really enjoyed, once I got in, I really fell in love with this book. And my number, okay, so I wrote them out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 that really, 7 out of 12, like that really spoke to me. Now there's a couple more that I like to go to at some point, but these are my top 7. The biggest one that I'm actually using right now is balance, the balancing equation. And that, like I said, I actually got a little trampoline. And I do this because she talks about control. When you want to control every aspect of your life. And that really spoke to me because that's an area that I'm still working on balancing. So it's, letting loose and having a little bit more fun and letting go of the control of my life. So I actually do that before working or before going to work. So in my morning routine's a little, I wouldn't say the word hectic, but because I have kids, I actually just stay in bed for a little bit and relax, and then I move on. I don't want to get into this meditative state, like listening to an actual, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry. Like getting into and actually listening to a meditation through the word, and for some reason it escaped me today. Guided meditation. So I just usually lay there with my thoughts and just kind of start the day, let my body wake up a little bit. But then I usually, help get my daughter at the door and things like that. But when I have the time when my son goes down for a nap, it's getting on the trampoline, doing my balancing equation. The other ones that kind of spoke to me is the feeling equation. And it's just because our emotions can really either get forgotten, they can, if we're not working on them, or we're so busy, we can kind of forget to check in with our feelings. So I thought it was a really good equation. And actually that's the first one in the book. And then there's a climbing equation to help get your higher thoughts. And for me, I find that really helpful right now because of the lack of sleep in my life. It can be really easy to fall into those negative thought patterns. So I thought that was really cool. And then this is where it got really juicy. Near the end of the book, there was a quantum shifting equation, focusing equation, the knowing equation. And that one's actually not 30 days, it's ongoing. So I really look forward to kind of reconnecting with my inner guide. And then there's the manifesting equation. And then the last one in the book, I didn't write this down, but the last one is actually add more the more ing equation. And I've actually just been kind of picking that up without even doing the equation. It's just slowing down and listen to my inner guidance, my inner guide, and really realizing that everything I need is actually within. I just need to slow down and listen. So I've been really doing that without the equation. I've just been slowing down and listening. So I found that these equations are amazing. I love her personality, her ings. I want to add more ing into my life. And I really think it's an amazing. So if you haven't read the book yet and you're like, well, what is this book about? And you're watching, I encourage you to see if it's at the library or even just buy it, because it's one of those things that's going to be nearby so I can grab it whenever I need something. And she actually, she still follows Gabrielle, also goes by Gabby Bernstein, and she actually still does this every day, but it's whatever you need right then. Like, so she recommends doing it for 30 days, and then once you kind of have that foundation, then it's adding it whenever you need it. So, like I said, the balance one has definitely been really good for me. But as the book gets further on, there's like one with the ego and things like that. Now, I actually wanted to read, I'm going on and on about this book, so I don't want to go too much longer, but there was a couple things that really that I loved. And then I got the highlighter out. When anything makes me go look for a highlighter, it means it's something I want to keep for things. So She very much follows the Course in Miracles, and the Course in Miracles said, miracles occur naturally as an expression of love. The miracle of forgiveness stems from an inner shift rather than an outer result. Though the expression of love rather than negativity and fear, the miracle will arise. So miracles happen when you change your mind. And then this one was a really amazing thing, and I actually should write it down, and maybe I'll even create some artwork around it. Is let go of the how and start to allow. Let go of the how and start to allow. We hold on to so many things like, how do I do this? How do I do that? Instead of just allowing. So that's a very powerful sentence right there. And I really enjoyed that. With the slightest willingness to change, you will receive change. Today you have two choices where forgiveness is concerned. One, continue to be angry and miserable, or two, forget, let go, be happy. Forgiveness leads to joy and peace of mind. So it was full of things like that. Oh, and there's this one. Sorry. Whenever you find yourself putting others down or focusing on their faults, this is a sure sign that you're not digging what you've got going on in you. People who love to point out faults in others are really just scared to see the faults in themselves. That was like a wow too. So anytime I fall into those little like, oh my goodness, I can't believe so-and-so's doing this, it's thinking about like, oh wow, where do I need to work on myself? And then this is really fun too. I've known about mirror work and it's really powerful. This is cute too. I really like this. Mirrors don't reflect the things we need to change, or don't just reflect the things we need to change. They also reflect the beauty within us. The beauty you see in the world is the beauty you see in yourself. So when she was talking here, it's really looking at people in our life as mirrors as well, not just mirror work where you say affirmations and things like that, but to really look at people in our life as mirrors. So they don't just show us the negative things, they show us the positive, and I really thought that was pretty empowering as well. So this book, for me, was really amazing. And if you see it, I don't know if you can tell here, there's all these dog ears. This means that there's a book here of knowledge for me. And I hope if you did read it, that you found even just one equation that you might be like, aha, or something that you could just take with you. It could even just be combining meditation and journaling together. And it doesn't mean that you have to do her meditations either. You can do whatever you want. You can sit peacefully and calmly and just open up to your inner guide and really just let the writing happen. Like that is a really simple equation to just go with as well. So now, I actually don't have the time handy, so I don't know how long I've been talking about the book, but I actually really enjoyed it. I really, really did. So if you haven't read it yet and you want to, I definitely encourage you. If you want to go through all the equations, just know that you're looking at a year. Because I do understand the need to do it for a whole 30 days because it really becomes a habit, and we're instilling new thought patterns and things like that. So the time has come for me to announce February's book. I am so excited about this book for so many reasons. I have picked a book about self-love because it's February. And February is a month that a lot of people tend to think about love, romance, love, and this is the time of year that if somebody isn't with somebody, then they feel, less of themselves. Sometimes, like I'm not saying everybody, but can be a hard time for people. So I've decided that this is a month, February is a month to really go into our self-love even deeper And I thought it worked really well with the Self-Love Club for Moms. So I have picked a book from an amazing, incredible woman who really started me off on my self-love journey. She has always been a woman of loving yourself and healing your body from love. And I am just so excited to announce this month's book is by Louise Hay. And I'm just so incredibly thankful for her gifts that she gets to still continue sharing with this world, even though she's no longer here by body. And she's still, I can still feel her spirit. But yeah, I'm just so incredibly thankful for all her amazing love that she shared with this world. So it is The Power is Within You. And like I said, it's by Louise Hay. And I was able, I couldn't stop myself but start reading it. So I'm already almost halfway done. And this book, when I first started reading it, I was in the introduction and my body just got goosebumps because it's everything I believe in about self-love and about how we should be looking at ourselves. And then as I continued reading, I realized we all need reminders. So if you think that maybe you're like, I already love myself, I'm good, I don't need to read another self-love book. Well, loving yourself is an ongoing journey. We can kind of forget sometimes. Life happens, events happen, and then we kind of put ourselves down. So this book is a nice, friendly reminder. And as I'm reading, I'm like, oh, right. That's right. I could be doing that again. And, saying that stuff to myself. And it just is really deepening our relationship with ourselves. So I look forward to reading this book with you. And I just wanted to read something out quickly one last time before we go. And this is in the book. I'm pretty sure, no, it's not in the first chapter. It's in the fourth. But even Louise Hay said, I do a lot of positive self-talk, morning, noon, and night. I come from a loving place of the heart and practice loving myself and others as much as I possibly can. My love expands all the time. What I do today is much more than what I was doing 6 months ago or a year. I know a year from now, my consciousness and my heart will have expanded and I'll be doing more. So even Louise Hay was continuing working on herself. And it's not about really work, it's just continuing your journey with yourself and to really just finding new things every day that you love about yourself. And when we grow deeper in our own love, which I'm sure you might already know, is our relationships get better, just because we can start, the negative talks in our head can come up and we can really start to embrace them more. So one of my biggest ones, like I've been mentioning all today in coffee chat, and today is my controlling personality. I'm really just embracing that, seeing what's good about it and how I can change it so it can really stop, trying to control every situation in my life, because there's so many beautiful things out there that I don't even know that are out of my realm. So it's just really embracing ourselves. So I really look forward to reading this book. Actually, I already have. Like I said, I'm almost halfway through. I was just going to start to see how it was going, and I just couldn't put it down. It's a really good read so far. And I personally, as a mom, let me see. So here, even on this page, there's 2 stop points right here. For me as a mom with young kids, I love the fact that there's small little areas that I can just read a little part and then put it down. Read a little part and put it down. All of a sudden, I'm done the book. I always find that the books that have 0 break points are a little challenge. Well, I still just stop wherever, but this way I know exactly where I stop, so I don't have to reread all the time. So I love those kind of books for moms on the go. And it's a perfect size, in my opinion, to fit in your purse. It's not that bad. I think it hangs out of my purse a little, but it's not heavy. So that's another thing I always look for or love in a book, is that I can carry it with her wherever I go. In fact, this went on a journey with me last Friday when I went and had a haircut appointment, so I could read in downtime. So anyways, if you are interested in reading this book, please let me know in the Self-Love Club, and we can continue talking about this book further. And like I said, it is a really amazing book, and it sings to my soul. Just the colors, everything inside. So I hope that you love the pick of the February of the month, and I would love to actually hear what other books you'd like to hear. What other books you'd like to read this year? And I already have March's picked out, but after that, I'm open to suggestions for April and onward. So if you have a book that you'd love to share and read with the group, like as the group, and we can talk about it, I'm really love to hear your thoughts. So until next time, or until I see you in the Self-Love Club for moms, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.